Good morning, guys. What's up? So today's video is going to be, I think, a fairly quick one. I'm basically going to be running a water line to my fridge for the ice and water maker. There was nothing in the house here when we moved in, there was no lines or anything for that. So basically that's what today's video is going to be. Everything that I have is all purchased from Home Depot. I'll show you the kit here and kind of go over it, all the pieces are, and then we will get to work. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Alright, so this is the kit that I bought at Home Depot, and it's basically a shark bite ice maker connection kit. This is made to tie into a 1/2-inch copper line, and basically, if you can see in the picture here, this is what it looks like. So you have this little T, there's a valve, you have 10 feet of PEX, and then the connection that goes into there. So inside the kit, this is your T that you get. So what happens is you basically cut the copper line, you slip this on, and then these are just shark bite fittings, so there's no soldering, nothing needed like that. Slip them on, go from there. And then this is a PEX valve, so this piece slides onto this end here, and then you have your PEX line goes into here, and then that's your shut-off valve. So from there, you have the PEX line connected in. It'll run underneath the house, through the floor, and then this little adapter is what plugs into the fridge. So this goes onto the PEX, and then the adapter that's on the back of the fridge, this threads right into. And then that's your basic connection. These little tools are to release the PEX, so you can use this to push the little pieces to remove the PEX line if you need to. The one thing that I don't like about this is that this valve is basically going to be underneath the house. So if I need to turn off the water for whatever reason, I have to crawl underneath the house to do it. So what I did was I went and got another valve, and then basically the only adapters that I could find were these that go to a 1/4-inch PEX, and then this will thread into the valve here, and then this valve I can mount on the wall behind the fridge. And then I got these little brackets basically just to mount it to the wall. I was hoping that they would have some kind of a PEX valve, which they may have, but it just wasn't available at the Home Depot. So down the line, I might swap this out if I find like an all-in-one, like a wall-mounted PEX valve, that I can put in there. But then that's basically it. All right, so I have my fridge pulled out from the wall, and if you look here, this is the connection that I was talking about that little adapter screws into. And I have a 3/8 drill bit, my drill. And basically what I'm going to do is just close to the wall, I'm going to drill a hole down, and hopefully I don't hit a rafter or anything. I don't want to have to drill 2 holes. Alright, okay, and like I said, I'm going to just drill a hole. I'm going to go kind of more to the left, since that's the side where the connection is, close to the wall, but I'm going to leave, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Okay, so that went through. I didn't hit anything on the bottom. Okay, and then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to go ahead and just feed this line down. Because then I'll be able to easily spot where it comes through the floor. And Now a 3/8 hole is the exact size of the outside diameter of this PEX, 1/4 inch PEX. So anytime you're doing something like this where you're going into a subfloor, you want it to be pretty snug. If not, then you're going to want to put some kind of silicone or something on it so that bugs and whatnot don't get in there. And this actually fits really snugly, so it should be good, and I don't have to really add anything to it at all. So that should be more than enough to reach. This is a 10-foot line. I think I'm only going to have to go about 6 feet, maybe 7 feet to the to where the copper line is. So let's go under the house. Okay, since I'm going to be working on the water, I am going to need to shut the water off and relieve the pressure. So let me turn that valve, and then I will go relieve the pressure. Now the copper line that's actually running to this hose bib is going to be the one I'm going to be tying into. Alright, so I'm under my house, and you can see right there, which I just barely missed a beam, so that was lucky. That's where the line's coming through, and I'm going to have to drill a hole in this blocking here so that I can run it through that so it's above this main beam. And then right here is the copper line that I'm going to tie into. So this is the copper line that runs to the hose bib that I just drained. I know it's kind of a tight angle here, but let me get the hole drilled here. Wow. Oh, I guess I should go the right direction, huh? I'm trying to reverse drill it. Yeah, it works way better that way. Okay. That's much better. Okay, I want to make sure there's no kinks in there. And this is more than enough to reach. Okay, so I have my valve here. I'm hoping that there's a little bit of movement on this pipe. I don't know if there will be or not. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I'm going to mount the valve in this vertical, because if this pipe's bolted all the way down, I'm not going to be able to move it enough to slip this on. So if I do it on this vertical, then I'll be able to move that up and down to position this in there a lot better. And there's more than enough space in there. So, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove enough. So I'm probably going to end up removing about a 3-inch piece out of here, or a 3-inch piece out of this line so that this can slip in. And to do that, you need one of these type tools. This is for cutting copper lines. So basically it has a little cutting wheel. You tighten this down until it gets onto the copper. You spin it, tighten it a little more, spin it, tighten it a little more until it cuts through. Now, most of the water should be drained, but as soon as I do this, it's probably going to drip some water. So, but the nice thing about these is you don't have to solder or anything. So you basically can just slip it right on, and then you're done. And then once this is on, and once I slip the valve on, I should be able to turn the water back on and have no leaks at this point because it'll be turned off. And hopefully my wife isn't trying to use the water because I didn't tell her I was turning it off. Okay, so with this, I'm assuming that this is going to go in here probably at least 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do my first cut here. put that on until it's snug, and then you just spin it. Okay, there's a piece of solder on this pipe, or a solder drip. There it goes. It was rolling a little weird at first. And then you see the water leaking. Okay, and we're through. I don't believe that there's no direction of flow on this. So you want to, I guess if you're ever doing anything like this, sometimes these have a flow direction, but this one just being a T, it shouldn't really matter. So I'm going to slip this on. Okay. All right, so that end is up, and I can kind of see where this one rests. So I'm going to cut it about right there. Okay. And then after you turn it, you want to tighten the wheel. Basically every turn or so you do like a 1/2 inch tighten on the wheel. There we go. All right, so I guess I ended up removing about 2 inches of the copper. And we'll take this end and make sure it's fully seated. All right, so that is in. Now I'm going to press this valve on. There you go. All right, so that is on, and typically, so when this is pointing towards the direction of the T, then it's open, and if it's up, then it's closed. So at this point, I'm going to go turn the water back on, and I want to make sure that none of this stuff is leaking. All right, so I got to make sure to close this. And of course, it's pouring rain, so it was a beautiful day yesterday. And we get this puddle here too, so that'll be fixed eventually. All right, as soon as I open this valve, the pump's gonna kick on. It should kick on. That's kind of weird. Okay, well, maybe that much water didn't drain out of it. Okay. So, of course, there's a slight drip, and I'm guessing the reason for that is because this copper piping is old, and it's not quite 1/2 inch anymore, or it was just older, so the shark bite fitting is not super tight on it. That's a little bit of a drip, and I'm gonna have to come back and fix that later. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in this line. The valve is not dripping anything on the valve. It's just on the copper connection to the shark bite fitting. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it one-handed. All right, so everything's plugged in, it's run in, and I'm gonna go back into the house now. This is a little shorter than what I was hoping for. I have my valve assembled. So I basically have the two shark bite connections into the valve. The valve's in off position. I was thinking I would have had like another foot or so in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this screw out so that there's some more flexibility on this hose here to give me a little more room. That's what the butter knife's for, because I didn't grab a screwdriver. All right, so I got that little bracket off. That gave me a bit more slack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this PEX and I'm going to mount this on the wall. All right. Boy. Alright, that's cut. And let's see, I think I want to have it mounted this way because the valve swings down, so that way when it's here, it'll swing down. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this connected. Okay. So my valve swings down like that. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this here. And you push that on all the way until it stops. Okay. And then for my little brackets, I'm basically going to use these drywall anchors. So that's the type. You basically screw the plastic piece in, and then the screw goes into that. And since this is not ideal, like I said, I basically just got a bracket that would fit over the neck of this. So basically just like that. And I'm going to have that go there. Take a Sharpie. I'm going to mark my holes. Okay. And then these things are really nice because they have the little tip on there, so basically all you do is you just put it right on your mark and then you just screw it in. And you stop when it's flush. Okay, other side. I think you guys have seen me use these in other videos. All right, and then we get our bracket, put the screw in. I'm going to do it almost all the way in, but not all the way in. And make sure this is rotated that way. It might still rotate, hopefully not, but we'll see. Okay. Alright, that's tight. And then I have one more bracket for the top, so hopefully this is enough to keep it totally secure. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these. Plastic mounts. Whoa. Okay. All right. So that should be good. So at this point, I'm going to go downstairs and turn the water on, and hopefully there's no leaks. All right. So the water is on. So that means that there's water up to this point. And then I'm going to go ahead and plug this side in. And then, let's see if I can turn this around. I apologize for this tight angles, and can you see it? No. Oh, there it is. Well, can't see it real well, but. And then I'm going to make sure that this fitting here is tight. that's tight. This is pushed all the way in. All right, I'm gonna turn on the water. Okay, I think we're good. So nothing is leaking in here, which is really good. So this connection is on, threaded on here. I got my mount there, the water's turned on. So now I guess the moment of truth. Oh, and there we go. This is pretty cool. It tells you how many ounces. That's good, I guess, if you're doing like cooking or something, or you need a specific amount of ounces. Now, I'm not sure about the ice maker. Well, there's no ice yet anyway, but well, all right, the water works. Excellent. All right, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I know this was a quick video and was a pretty easy project to do, but it's something that helps out a lot, having cold water and ice. I'm still not sure if the ice maker is working or not. I bought this fridge on Craigslist. They said it worked, but I guess we'll see. So thanks again for tuning in. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you guys on the next video. Aloha.